Hey there, Geoff Petrulis here, and welcome back to Geoff on Digital. Let's get to it. First, I have to say, somebody told me the initials of Geoff on Digital. I promise that just happened. It was a coincidence. All right, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good when it comes to producing your content. That familiar axiom is my answer this week to a lot of questions that came my way, specifically about social media and more so, social media and video. Okay, it's not true about barbecue brisket, though. That has to be perfect, but that's a different blog. Sort of, and I'll tell you what I mean here in a little bit. Okay, I just don't have the gear, or my production team doesn't have the time. Depending on whether you're creating content yourself or you're in the media industry and working with the team, understand that the expectations that the public has for online content has greatly changed. They want to be entertained and informed. They honestly don't care what graphics program you use and what font drop shadow you have. Stick with me here. I'm not saying that it can suck, but it cannot suck and still be efficient and inexpensive to get you started. Okay, moving on. And we'll be talking a little bit more about the gear that you can get started on here at the end as well. To illustrate with extremes here, of course, you don't want to create your content with a dumpster in the background. Well, unless, of course, your story's about a dumpster. There's kids out there making millions of dollars with a cell phone and a lav mic, and some don't even use a lav mic. Yeah, I shoot videos in my studio. Sometimes I use a green screen too. But the bottom line is, it's the content. If the content sucks, I don't care how well you dress it up. It's just not going to fly. Think of the content as the food at a restaurant. See, I told you I'd get back to food here. If you have boring, uninteresting content, people will never come back, or it will be really, really hard to get them to come back to your stuff. Now, if you're a small business, clearly you can work your way up in quality as revenue comes in. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to invest in the bells and whistles. I'm just saying you don't have to wait. Start now. Your customers want your content, right? If it's good content, they'll be there. Just don't suck at it. As a broadcasting professional, I don't know how many times I've had to reset expectations with editors and managers. A team would wait hours to polish up a production piece to go online. By the time it was ready, the news was old. And in news, if that's your bag, that's a big deal. And we ultimately changed that process to get great success. But I found it's a big deal in any business, really, not just news, especially if you're dealing in timely products or content. I found that getting a video online and just a minute later could be the difference between 10,000 views and 5 million views. So let's put a bow on this. Don't suck, but don't build the Taj Mahal either with everything you put together. You really have to evaluate this case by case. This applies to media organizations and a small business. The team I ran back at CBS put content together quickly, and we benefited from that swiftness, and we weren't tying up an entire newsroom and production staff to do it. I'm going to talk about some basic gear that can get you up and running quickly here in a sec. But first, no matter what people are looking at online or on air for that matter, they want to be entertained, or they want to be informed in a way that doesn't bore them to tears. I'm not saying to drop a bunch of dad jokes in your content, but try and stay away from sounding like you're reading something you're not even interested in. See, that's boring. Get it? Depending on your business, imagine how you talk to your customers and do that. Okay, the gear. Really, you can start with a phone and perhaps a ring light and a basic lav mic. I highly recommend the lav mic to get rid of all the echo. I'm also going to put some links in my site for the basic gear that I recommend folks purchase to get started. It doesn't take much to ramp up your production, but this can really get you started. Really, I'm talking about a camera, a light, some green screens, maybe a fancy microphone, or even that lav mic. This gear connected to your i7 computer, something powerful, or your fancy Mac can get you started. Now, if your budget is big, I recommend you get the best camera you can. That's going to be key. I'll give you some links to those too, especially if you're working with a green screen. You'll thank me later. Trust me. Head over to geoffondigital.com and click on my latest blog entry. I'll put a link in the description down below. Also, just a reminder, I'm putting together a seminar we'll have online soon that will address a lot of these challenges. Now, be sure to follow me on YouTube and LinkedIn, and you can also reach out to me with email at jeff@geoffondigital.com. Thanks for watching jeoffondigital.com, and I have been Geoff Petrulis, and I will be tomorrow. Catch you next time. Talk to you later. Bye.